Mr. Speaker, on the 18th February 2025, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Mr. Lawrence Wong, delivered Singapore's budget statement. I thank the Prime Minister for his statement, and I stand to support the budget and make some brief comments about the implication of the budget on children, the education sector, and women and their families. In doing so, I note that I'm a social worker and educator currently working with the Singapore University of Social Sciences and the president of PPIS, an organization supporting women and families. Mr. Speaker, my first comments relate to early childhood education, or ECE. Mr. Speaker, I welcome the initiatives aimed at reducing the cost of ECE, notably the decision to lower the monthly fees cap for full-day childcare at a government-supported preschools to 610 for anchor operators and 650 for partner operators. Access to affordable ECE is correlated with several positive outcomes for children, including improved cognitive and language development, social and emotional skills, and academic and life outcomes. There is also increasing evidence that access to ECE is particularly beneficial for children from disadvantaged backgrounds. Mr. Speaker, to fully reap the benefits of our ECE sector, we need to look beyond simply cost. We also need to consider the curriculum, the educators' qualifications, and access and equity. Mr. Speaker, ECE is not simply babysitting, nor should it be seen as the first step of a hyper-competitive, assessment-driven education system. Effective ECE curricula should be child-centered and developmentally appropriate, give priority to play-based and hands-on learning, and focus on social-emotional, not just academic development. ECE educators also need to be suitably qualified, supervised, and supported so that the sector attracts the right people and keep the right people. Educators also need to be adequately compensated. Working with very young children is difficult work, an important work, and the contribution of ECE educators to the safety, health, and well-being of children needs to be better recognized and rewarded. Mr. Speaker, as well as making ECE affordable to more families, we also need to do more to encourage families to access ECE. There remain in Singapore strong personal and cultural perspectives that ECE is an unnecessary expense or a luxury, particularly when young children have historically been looked after by an elderly relative or helper. We need to educate families about the benefits of ECE and ensure that services are geographically convenient, easy to access, affordable, and culturally appropriate. Mr. Speaker, my next comments relate to the importance of experiential learning and access to creative pursuits. Mr. Speaker, I noted above the importance of play-based and hands-on learning, and I would like to expand on this comment. Engaging children, including very young children, in activities that stimulates wonder and curiosity, teaches them how to think creatively, critically, and independently, how to problem solve, and how to cooperate, share, and resolve conflict. It also improves physical development, including motor skills, balance, coordination, and fine motor play. We need to move away from seeing education as simply giving children facts and then assessing how well they remember those facts on any given day. As noted by the philosopher Socrates, and I quote, "Education is the kindling of a flame and not the filling of a vessel." Mr. Speaker, part of the solution lies with parents encouraging their children to be children and to explore areas of wonder and curiosity at school. However, schools also need to play their part and implement individualized experiential learning techniques in both teaching and assessment. Mr. Speaker, related to the issue of experiential learning is that of access to creative arts. Mr. Speaker, access to creative arts, including drama, painting and drawing, music and creative writing, have been known to improve abstract thinking, language development, empathy, communication skills, confidence, and memory. Despite this, many families and schools give preferences to traditional academic subjects, with the creative arts seen as something that children might do as a part-time hobby or as a non-essential skill. We need to provide children access to a wide range of creative arts options at school, and we need to nurture creativity in children just as much as we nurture literacy and numeracy. I dream of a Singapore where a young child who announces to their parents or school that they want to become an actor or painter or musician is seen as no different to a child who says that they would like to become a lawyer, doctor, or engineer. Mr. Speaker, Sir Ken Robinson, the renowned English educationalist, once noted that it is common for parents to attach drawings by their children on their home fridge, yet rare for them to attach the results of their child's maths tests. His point is that we inherently value creativity in our children, yet sometimes forget to protect and nurture this creativity in our schools and society. Mr. Speaker, the next education-related issue that I wish to briefly discuss is inclusive education for children with special needs. While Singapore has made significant progress in special education, there is still more to do. For example, children with special needs still face barriers to entering mainstream school. Mainstream teachers sometimes lack specialized training to effectively support students with special needs. Essential supports or therapies for children with special needs are sometimes expensive, and children with special needs can struggle to keep up with the rigid expectations of academically driven school systems. Respectful and effective inclusive education for children with special needs promotes social integration and equal opportunities, and assists to break down barriers of stigma and discrimination. It also provides children with special needs better access to academic resources, peer support, and tailored learning strategies, thereby helping them reach their full potential. Mr. Speaker, my final education-related issue is that of lifelong learning and workforce adaptation. Mr. Speaker, in Singapore, the pursuit of continuous education is crucial for staying competitive in an ever-evolving global landscape, and I welcome the support for lifelong learning and the expansion of opportunities for part-time students contained in Budget 2025. Despite this increased attention to lifelong learning, we do, however, need to do more to ensure equitable access to lifelong learning opportunities, align educational offerings with industry needs, and embrace experiential learning methods. It is also important that employers and the broader community understand the importance of supporting students in their educational journey. Encouragement and understanding from both home and the workplace enables students to thrive and fully benefit from their educational endeavors. It would be a shame if Singapore's admirable commitment to lifelong learning becomes competitive and outcome-focused and a source of personal stress and distress. Mr. Speaker, my final comments related to women and families. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2025 contains a range of provision to support families who choose to have more than 2 children. It is no secret that women and men in Singapore are delaying getting married and having children, and choosing not to get married and have children at all. Providing financial incentives may encourage some existing families to have more children. However, unless we address the underlying reasons why young Singaporeans are choosing not to marry or have children in the first place, our decreasing birth rate is unlikely to reverse. Mr. Speaker, the reasons why young women are choosing to delay or avoid marriage and children are complex, yet in many circumstances compelling. Simply speaking, life as a single woman can sometimes be safer, more fulfilling, and more economically secure than being married or being a mother. We need to continue our conversations with young women to understand their perspectives and work together as a community to develop viable alternatives that allow women to be working professionals, wives and mothers, and for women and men to be equal partners in their relationships and households. This might include fully subsidized long-term maternity leave, part-time return to work arrangements, supportive workplace culture, and of course, shared household and caring responsibilities. Mr. Speaker, at PPIS, our inaugural Aspirations of Muslim Women research identified the 4 female archetypes: the traditional conformist, the balanced striver, the driven achiever, and the purpose seeker. Studies such as this are invaluable and can assist to inform targeted, evidence-based policy and procedures. Which, Mr. Speaker, leads me to my concluding comments about gender equality. Mr. Speaker, despite progress, issues of gender equality continue to impact Singaporean women of all ages. For example, women continue to earn less than men, are underrepresented in senior leadership roles, are less financially secure, both while working and in retirement, are expected to take disproportionate caring and household responsibilities, and experience higher levels of gender-based violence, abuse, and harassment. To address these issues, we must implement targeted and ongoing policies that address the underlying social, economic, political, and cultural factors that assist to create and perpetuate gender inequality. In doing so, we have to have genuine conversations with women of all ages and backgrounds, and of course, with men. Mr. Speaker, older women face unique hurdles, including ageism, which undermine their full participation in society. Addressing stereotypes and biasness against older women is essential to ensure their continued well-being and contribution. Additionally, we must recognize the financial needs of older women, particularly as they navigate challenges related to menopause. Providing resources and support system to address these issues is vital for their empowerment and participation. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, Budget 2025 is steering Singapore in the right direction, yet we need to do more to ensure that the underlying objectives of the budget, a Singapore where no one is left behind, is achieved. We need to continue our discussion with Singaporeans, including those who may not normally have a voice or who are sometimes invisible, listen to their stories and ideas, and work together to co-create affordable, equitable, and long-term solution. As noted by the Prime Minister, let us rally as one united people and move onward together for a better tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.